अस्सलाम वालेकुम। तो अपन आज एक टॉपिक करने वाले थे, सबनेटिंग। और जरा मेरे को जरा चेंज ऑफ प्लान्स हुआ, इसीलिए कि subnetting is not a very important topic when you are doing hacking, which is why I want to do Nmap, which is one of more main topics you can say. Okay, so yeah, that is what I had to say. So one question: does everyone understand what we have been doing thus far? Right? If everyone understands, we can continue. So I will start sharing my screen. Okay. So we are over here. Okay. So everyone start Kali Linux. We will be starting with just the commands. So open VirtualBox. And for today, we have to do this one important, very important step. Make sure your network is on a bridged adapter. Otherwise, today's class will not work for you. As you can see, adapter 1 is the Intel Pro 1000 MT desktop bridge adapter, Broadcom 800 to 11 AC network adapter. Okay. Otherwise, if you do not understand how to do this, I will show you. Go to settings, network, and then instead of NAT, put it on bridged. This one, make it your Windows, make it your Wi-Fi adapter, or you can just use a Wi-Fi stick. Okay. So today we'll be doing Nmap. So let me start mine again. Alright, so boot up into Kali Linux. I don't know why that showed up there. Yes, one second. Yes. So it booted up. We can use host stuff to put it in full screen, but I'm not going to do that until it actually fully boots up. Because before that, it will give you some problems if you try to host stuff it right now. You'll have to unhost stuff it, then you'll have to re-host stuff it. Okay, so that just loads up. And then we get the login page. Just enter your login information. For me, it's going to be Kali at Kali plus login. Right? So we can see this. We don't need any of that. We will just control Wireshark network adapter. Let's do that. We don't need it. Do not. Okay, and then we will move over here. I will now press poster. Section to first layer mode. And we'll first stuff. Right. And then I will control zoom. Okay. So today what we will be doing is actually we will be using Nmap, and we will be using another tool called ArcScan to find hosts and find information about the host. Okay. So we need to enumerate the hosts inside of our computer, inside of our network. So as for our network, we are connected to the bridged adapter. Bridge adapter just means the network I'm connected to on my main computer will also be reflected in my virtual machine, which is what we're going for. Okay. तो अपने को क्या करना है यहाँ पर? Use Nmap, right? Nmap, you can just write it. You can see this. The other tool we will be using is called ARP-scan. Right? So we will be using AppScan and Nmap. So write ARP-scan. I'm pretty sure it's ARP-scan. And we'll be using ARP-scan to actually find the hosts on this network. So ARP-scan, we can just write it like that. Right. So we can use this command to see what other options it has. So all the way up, and we can see ARP-scan hosts. Target host must be specified on command line unless the file or local net option is used. So target host, this means this network ID. So the network ID will be 10.0.0.20/24. Okay. First, before I do anything, I will actually need to check your if config. So if config, that is going to determine how we're going to do this. So that's my IP address. That is my net mask. So that means my IP address is actually classless. What is it? Yeah, it's classless. Which means 10.0.0.0. So the IP address will be 10.0.0. So it is the ARP-scan 10.0.0.0 slash. We're not going to use so we can see this, right? Yesterday I have shown everyone how we can calculate the network ID, right? How to calculate this in binary. So what we will do is we will say how many bits does one of this have, right? That's 8-bit. That's 8-bit. That's also 8-bit. So we will say 8 into 3, which is 24. So hyphen 24 slash 24. So that's going to be it. Okay, so you will have to actually just sudo su before you do anything. Do Kali, right? So now we are in here. We will do a ARP scan 10.0.0.0 select enter. Right. So we just move this screen. Right. So as we can see, we have 10.0.0.1, the router, and we have 10.0.0.250. We can use Nmap to scan these. We can also see their MAC address, which just means physical address. So what we will be doing is we will be taking the 10.0.0.254 address. So we'll be using an Nmap basic scan, a default scan, right? So Nmap is going to be 10.0.0.254. Enter. Give it 1 second and it will scan it for us. Join drawing screen. 1 second. Please don't actually draw on the screen. It's confusing for me. We have an open port, and then we have the NARE Information and Communication Enterprise. So I don't know what that is. But anytime you don't know what something is on your Nmap scan, all you do is you will copy this address. You copy the name, you copy the MAC address, Control-Shift-C, and then you will go into the Firefox. And then you will type MAC vendor lookup. Click here, MAC vendor lookup. And this is a different type of Mac, not your Apple Mac. It's going to be the MAC address, which is also known as physical address. Go to the first link. This is one of the best MAC vendor lookups. So all you will do is you will paste the MAC vendor, and then you will copy the actual vendor itself. It is right. It's just going to show a text prompt over here, and just paste the MAC address. Narray information and communication enterprise. Copy that. New tab, and then you will paste that. Go to images and see what. So, but the reason we are doing this is we are seeing what Narray information and communication enterprise is. Right? So just give me a second. Okay, so none of these are actually what we're looking for. But it looks like from the from all, it's some sort of router company. Okay. So go back to one, close this, and we will go to the terminal to scan a different host. So as we can see, we had another host called 10.0.0.1. Right? So we can just write nmap 10.0.0.1. But what if we don't want it to take too much time? We can use something called fast scan. So it won't scan as many ports. So this was -F. So you're gonna scan 100 ports. So the ports meaning the network, how many bits are in the network. So we can see that many. And this one is Technicolor CHUSA. Right? And then we have an SSH, telnet, domain, HTTP, HTTPS proxy, and we have an unknown. So this one I'm pretty sure is something so we have something that's locally administered. Let's try 140. Right? Nmap -F 114. 10.0.0.114. Okay. Okay, so we get 2 ports and we still get an unknown. Okay. Copy it. Go into Chrome and then paste it in your Mac window. Okay. Not found. So sometimes when it says not found, it's a even the Mac vendor lookup can find it. So 114 doesn't work. We have 2 TCP ports there. Let's try 198. So 10.0.0.198. So give it a second to scan. Let me see Indao intelligent, intelligent and precise electronics. Right. So we can see a lot of hosts in here. We can actually use other tools. There are some more advanced tools as well for ARP scanning that we can use to figure out more information about a host. Not like AppScan, but it will actually look for hosts for at least for quite some time. 999 are closed TCP ports. And then 49152 is an open port. But what if we just want to scan a couple random hosts? Right? We want to scan a couple hundred random hosts, random computers, 100 random computers on this network. So we can do that by just using nmap -r IR. So -IR means random, and then we will write the number. So we'll write random 100. hosts from this network. Okay? So just give it 1 second because it will be actually looking at 100 hosts and also scanning all of the ports on 100 hosts. So give it 1 second. So the reason it's taking some time is because when you're using 100 hosts, each time you're doing it, it's going to scan for a couple thousand ports, right? I'm pretty sure it's something around 10,000 ports, right? So, uh, so as we can see, 10,000 ports, right? 10,000 ports, it's going to scan each of 100 hosts 10,000 times 10,000, right? So let's see. 100 hosts into 10,000 is 10 lakh. Okay. So we'll be scanning around roughly like 10 lakh hosts. They're 10 or 1 lakh. So now it's going over and over again. Looking for hosts. Okay, let's put this. Maybe let's try reducing number. Let's try like 5. Just to get an idea, we can try 5. So it scanned 5. None of them were actually on. Okay. That's the thing with doing this because sometimes it's really fast, sometimes it's really slow. Sometimes the computers are off all of the 100 scans. Okay. Because in a class C, this is right now classless, but the subnet mask is that of a class C. So in class C, only 253 hosts can be in. Only 253 computers. So out of that, 100 divided by 253 is the odds. 253 by 100 is the odds it's going to pick something that's on. Okay. So we have seen fast scan. We can actually enumerate host more information from a host by using an aggressive scan. Let's pick out a random host from here. Let's do 48. Right? So we'll say nmap hyphen a, and then we'll say 10.0.0.48. So give it a second to just run. Recording on. We've checked that OS and service detection performed. Please report any incorrect results at nmap.org. Too many fingerprints match, so it can't actually find the OS. Let's do something that we can actually find. Okay, wait. Never mind. Let's actually escape this. Let's exit full screen. And everything on your network has an IP address, right? So we can actually just do your computer's IP address because they're connected to the same network. IP config, and as we can see, wireless LAN adapter Wi-Fi. It only has IPv6 address. Oh wait, no, it does. 10.0.0.73. Did it pick that address up? Let's go check. 10.0.0.73. So it did not actually pick. Okay, it's the second result. So let's try scanning 10.0.0.73. So nmap hyphen a 10.0.0.73. So you'll also need to give this a couple minutes of time. Hyphen A means aggressive. Aggressive meaning like it will enumerate all hosts before actually scanning. So it will see like look aggressive worst guesses. It says 92% chance of there being Windows XP, and there is room alert. It says that it could be a room alert monitor, 80%, 87% chance. None of this is actually saying it's Windows 10, but it knows it's something of Microsoft. It says running and it says just guessing. Windows XP 92%, AV Tech embedded 87%, and FreeBSD 86%. So it's we have general purpose, and we can see the MAC addresses like your technology. And then we can see it's an SSL mail server. So let's just scan it with a normal scan. Right, we can just use a normal scan, right? 10.0.0.73. Let's just use that without actually using aggressive scan. So अपने पास जो scan आया 7070 TCP लिंक एक open real server लिंक दे रहा हूँ. So let's try using that. Let's try using a browser to open 7070 port, right? Browser in here. Right? Okay. Okay. So what we will be doing is we will be opening the port it shows on this computer. So what was the port called? It was 192. No, sorry, no. It was this IP address 10.0.0.73 colon 7070. And it says the connection was reset. Check the proxy. And it says the port doesn't actually exist. 7070 port doesn't exist. So we can try actually scanning a specific port to check for some vulnerability in the. So we can use Nmap to actually scan a specific port to check for vulnerabilities in the port. Right. So we need to write that command. Right. Give me one second. Right. So we can use a specific port scan, but we can also use a file scan. So in a file, we can add multiple IP addresses. So let's add all of these IP addresses in one file. So I will actually just keep pressing up and up until I find the IP address. Press this art scan, and then you can find, and then you can just write that code. The fight code. Okay. So we will actually just write pipe graph and then 10 dot pipe. So it found every spot where we found 10 dot. So we need to actually just copy this area. So you can use something like alt. Alt doesn't work. Okay. Okay. So let's open a new terminal horizontally. It means to the right. We'll run the top command again. This is all up of it. And then we'll write nano uh, targets dot txt 10.0.0.1 10.0.0.73 10.0.0.114 10.0.0.180 10.0.0.1982 10.0.0.198 10.0.0.19254 and 10.0.0.100. So control X, Y, enter, and then we will use the nmap scan. So just come over there, press N, and P, and then we will actually use this command called -I, capital L, and then we will write the file targets.txt. So just give it a second to do that one. तो अब स्कैन करके पूरा जो भी टारगेट्स रहता है उन्हें निकाल लेता हूँ. तो terminal is fine. So use my camera, sudo, nmap, and then we'll write the target name, target -I N tab. Give it 1 second. It will um just give it. It will load it up. Okay. So I've scanned all of the targets, and as we can see, it shows. So the 10.0.0.254 is array information, array information and communication. 198 is Qingdao. 180 is Intel. So I'm pretty sure that could be something of Microsoft. As we can see, MSRPC, and we can see Windows API and Microsoft DS. And then we have iPhone. This one is an iPhone. You can tell from the iPhone chip. This one is my computer's IP address. This one is the Technicolor IP address. And I do wonder why it has an port 80 HTTP ID. Let's check that one. So this one is still okay. No. That this one is the router. So 10.0.0.1 is my router, which is why it has an HTTP ID, right? So that's all the hosts we scanned. 10 minutes, okay. So that is a file, right? You can actually um hack. You can find hosts using a file. Another thing is that I wanted to tell everyone. Next course, inshallah, we will be doing Azure. So that's about the next course. But we can also use other commands for using ArtScan, right? We can say 19. So we can just use nmap and then we'll write 192.168 dot no sorry, it's 10.0 dot 0 hyphen 24 hyphen PR. Dot zero just means network ID, and it will actually scan all IP addresses when you write the and network ID. So just let it scan. It's like using AppScan, but it's more elaborate. So it's like it takes some time because it also finds ports on every single IP addresses in the network. So hyphen slash 24 just means there can be 253 combinations of IP addresses. So it will scan all 253 IP addresses. So just give it like a couple minutes to scan. Scanning.